Hi there, welcome back to Pontypool Golf Club, Indoor Golf Academy. Weather's still not good outside, so I thought I'd do a two-parter today. They both coincide with each other, and it'll be something just to help you get ready for when you're coming back to golf. And that is pre-shot routine. And that's going to go alongside with visualization, or what I call imagination. So we're going to bring these two things together to help you improve on a number of factors with your game. Pre-shot routine and this visualization will not only help you set up consistently each time, but also help massively with your direction and accuracy. And it's about doing things repetitively the same each time. Just like when you get into a car to start a car and drive a car, there's a sequence of events you go through, and you do that every single time. It's no different to the golf swing in that you go through the same process each time, being consistent each time in what you're doing. It helps you focus, it helps you to concentrate on what you're doing, and it also helps you relax and not to get too stressed out when you're hitting a golf shot. So, pre-shot routine, that's what we're going to cover today. And you'll see best players in the world, pre-shot routines will all slightly vary in some way or fashion, or in small amounts. But don't be frightened to take a look at this. Pick your favorite golfer, have a look how they do their pre-shot routine. Pre-shot routine is what you do before you hit the golf ball. And it helps with, like I mentioned earlier on, your alignment. So pick someone out on the television, don't be frightened to copy exactly what they're doing. Now, when I'm giving lessons to golfers, when I say to them, do you have a pre-shot routine? I have a variation of answers on this, and 50% of the time, most of them are incorrect in how they go about it. And someone says to me, I'm just aiming for the fairway, or others say to me, I'll have a practice swing, I'll just step up to the golf ball and look, align my shoulder up to the target. So I come across some interesting ways of doing things, but most of the time I find a lot of people have got incorrect sort of pre-shot routine, or the way they think about how to approach the shot. So there's a number of factors we take into account with pre-shot routine, because one thing is we don't want to be taking 5 minutes over a golf shot. We'll be talked about in the clubhouse how long we're taking hitting a golf shot. So wherever you do when you do this pre-shot routine, time it on a stopwatch. You want it literally to be sort of, 20 seconds max really in how you go about doing your pre-shot routine. So my advice here is, while you're walking up to your golf shot, is to start to think about what club it might be, or where the wind's coming from, or the ground conditions in front of you, what you're hitting to, before you get to the ball. So you're saving that little bit of time instantly with preparation. So as I'm doing that and I walk up to the golf ball, I want to be able to select the right club. I want to know what the yardage is, the conditions, the wind. Am I going into the wind? Is the wind across or behind me? How the ball is lying as well, because that's going to make a massive effect to what club you're going to choose and pick as well. So let's just argue that we're on the fairway at the moment and we're playing into a green. And what I'm going to do here is just go through this process in how I approach it, just to sort of give you some idea. I'm never going to be able to align myself correctly by doing it straight away over the golf ball and looking down the target line here, okay? The reason I say that, you're always going to get a better visual from behind. And again, I'll use the analogy here of rugby kickers taking a penalty kick or a conversion kick. They'll always get, first of all, behind the ball, look at the posts, eye it up and down. There'll be different mannerisms here, as you've probably seen with people like Dan Bigger and Johnny Wilkinson and Neil Jenkins over the past, the great kickers, who tend to have their own routines, and you'll see it's the same each time, very, very consistent. And they're great visualizations of how they're going to see it through the air. There's no different with golf. I get back behind the ball, picture my target. I might have one practice swing. I will have one practice swing. Selected the club I'm going to play, but when I'm behind the golf ball here, I'll tend to use my shaft to line up the ball to my target line. I used the analogy earlier on in a previous lesson about aim small, miss small, going back to the film The Patriot, Mel Gibson in there, where we're trying to make our target line smaller. So I'll maybe pick a bit of green out that's faded, or there's a particular hump on the green that I'm aiming for, or even something on the horizon, a tree, a pylon, that I can narrow my target line down to. Rather than looking at the whole green, I'm making something a lot smaller. So if I do miss that small object, I'm still likely, hopefully, to hit the rest of that green. But if I'm using the whole green and I miss the green, I miss the greens. So aim small, miss small is always a good way of approaching this. So again, back behind the ball, I'm using the shaft of my golf club to pick something out in front of the ball that lines up with me, and it might be an old divot, a leaf, something I can see on the floor. And as I'm doing this, I'm also visualizing. I'm imagining what my ball's going to do beforehand. What's it going to look like through the air? What kind of flight's it got on there? How does it feel when I strike it? I'm sensing all positive thoughts here when I'm hitting this shot. So I approach the golf ball with my club face first, so I can line the club face. And when I say club face, not the whole face, I'm talking about my leading edge here, okay? That has to be at right angles to your target line, okay? It's not the whole face, it's the leading edge at the bottom. You want at right angles. So my old bit of grass or leaf, something in front, leading edge first. Then I work my feet in. I want to be parallel to that, like a railway track. You see I've got sticks on the floor to encourage me to do that when I'm practicing. Don't be frightened to put some clubs on the floor when you're practicing and doing the same thing over and over. So I'm in a ready position now. I have one look at the target. You see I'm swinging the club back and forth with my hands, and this helps me relax. It's what we used to call a waggle in golf. I sometimes use my feet. Well, obviously I'm talking to you while I'm doing this, but we'll all do this in about 20 seconds maximum, okay? And then I feel like I'm ready to sort of fire the trigger of the gun. There we go. Hit this one a bit too far. But what I would say is my direction was really, really good. And I think that's the thing about pre-shot routine. I know each time I'm set up, I'm going to be correct. And it gives me a lot of confidence knowing that my pre-shot routine I can trust. So important. If you're just approaching the ball each time, how do you know you're set up correctly? What's your markers? You need to get back behind the ball first before you can do anything, okay? So I'll do this at normal time for you, so that you'll get an indication how I do it. I'm just going to change the yardage on this golf simulator because I've only got it at 50 yards. Let's do 150. So back behind, I've had my practice swing, lining my shaft up where I want to go, visualizing the shot, club face first, lining it where I want it to go with a leading edge, railway track, my waggle. I'm ready to go. There we go. Oh, hit the green. I could argue I was aiming for the left side of the green, but aim small, miss small. Great analogy that. Something you can use when you're playing. Pre-shot routine, design your own. But always make sure you're back behind the ball. And visualization. I'm going to cover that a little bit more in part 2 about how you can use visualization to your advantage. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Start working on a pre-shot routine. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. It's Leon Warren, PGA Professional. Until next time, enjoy your golf.